morning all. Coffee time. So in yesterday's entry I mentioned the backfire effect. Gave you a brief overview of it. Probably the best thing is if you Google the oatmeal backfire effect. It's a cartoon. It's easy to digest and understand, and it just explains it all. I do like something out of Phantom of the Opera here. It's just, the black hole. Trees up. Put the lights on, but it's like, ooh, and then back again. If I wore a black t-shirt, it'd be like a disembodied head. In fact, I could be like Holly from Red Dwarf. Right, so yeah. So the backfire effect. Right, it's a thing. It's a known thing, and basically, if somebody challenges your deeply held beliefs, then there will be a physiological reaction, much the same as if you were threatened and the fight or flight reflex kicked in. It's that old part of our brain that keeps the lookout for saber-toothed tigers, and when we see the saber-toothed tiger, we run or we fight. Now, there's stuff going on, and yes, I am going to talk about politics and the media again today, and if you're bored, then switch off. But yeah, there's stuff going on in the media about this party, Christmas. If I just say the Christmas party at Downing Street, I think everybody in the UK watching this is going to know what I mean. And the fact that it's alleged, or well, you've got people resigning over it, and you've got people saying it didn't happen. Why is this one press secretary or woman or whatever she does? I called it on the news. She's resigned. She said, I apologise. I should have done better. I don't think she's been scapegoated. I don't think she's been thrown under the bus. I think she belatedly decided the honourable thing to do would be to resign. And then I fired up Twitter this morning, and the photograph of the Queen at Prince Philip's funeral, her own husband's funeral, the one person in the country who is above the law, sitting alone, self-isolating, at an event where she really probably could have needed her family and nearest and dearest really close to her. The Queen, in that instance, was not above the law. Anyway. So yeah, you've got backfire effect. It's here, it's a thing, right? Then you've got the consistent behaviour of this current crop of politicians, where they flout the rules over and over again. Now, we cannot normalise this. We cannot normalise bad behaviour. We really cannot. Because if you start to normalise and accept that what they do is acceptable, normal, run of the mill, or it's just what politicians do. When people start trying to hold them to account and say no, it's not, then what's going to happen is the backfire effect is going to kick in. How dare you criticise our politicians? It already is in some ways. It already is. I used to have to put the Daily Mail out when I was working, and I would always put it at the back of the pile in front of the Independent and the Times. They're all bad, but the Mail just reinforces people's deeply held beliefs. That's all it does. It doesn't print news. And it is a newspaper in newspaper. It's owned by Baron What's-Its-Name, a tax exile. He doesn't even live over here. He doesn't pay tax over here. And yet he's allowed to peddle his own propaganda and media to reinforce the beliefs of Little England. I'm calming down a bit now. The backfire effect is why we should hold our public figures in high regard and expect better of them, because they do lead by example. The human brain is just a squishy computer. We all like to think we're individuals, we all like to think we have a strong sense of identity, and we all like to think we have a strong sense of will. And unfortunately that's not true. And even saying this is going to make people because there you have it. You see, this is it. We have a deeply held belief, we have a strong sense of identity and will, and when someone challenges that, you don't want to hear it, you start to feel that. So there's the backfire effect in action. But you have to take it that we are not as willful creatures as we like to think we are, and we can actually be manipulated because we are human beings and human nature. And one of the things that manipulates us and on a level reprograms us is if a lie is repeated often enough, it becomes accepted. It might not be the truth, but it becomes accepted. And this is why in the past few years we've seen, and beyond, one of my earliest memories as a child was seeing these billboards in my hometown and in the towns I grew up, a massive long queue of people snaking around and a 3-word slogan underneath it: Labour isn't working. That is one of my earliest memories, a 3-word slogan. And when you look at all these 3-word slogans and things that we've had recently, get Brexit done, oven ready Brexit, make America great again, short slogan again, off the top of my head, I can't think of them. But we are governed, we are run by, I remember other ones as well. I'm loving it, just do it. They're advertising. Yeah, those 3-word slogans are in the realm of advertising. Get Brexit done was in the realm of politics, but it's still a 3-word slogan, and it still works in our brain exactly the same way as the advertising one does. So you're into a very dangerous territory there, an absolutely very dangerous territory. This is why a lot of politics now has become about, well, they call it a cult of personality, and it's basically like you either get a figurehead who people follow, or they slag off the opposing. Their whole act is slagging off and running down and all that. The other guy, which is kind of what we did to Corbyn, really. The anti-Semitic stuff, which has proved to be not true, and the photoshopped stuff, of him wearing, as a terrorist sympathiser and all of it. And then, after the event, people say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I've tweeted it in mistake and I shouldn't have done that." It doesn't matter, the damage is already done. I'm rambling a little bit now because I'm very aware of the time and my little clock going on, and I'm trying to get this done under 10 minutes. But yeah, so, I am going to go back and I'm going to repeat it again. Backfire politics. Statements repeated in the media and press that people come to eventually believe. Challenging those statements people eventually come to believe, whether they be true or not, will kick in the backfire politics, the backfire effect, and make people physically angry and all that if they are challenged. We got to be wary of that. We've really, really, really got to watch out for that. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I don't actually watch an awful lot of news, and I prefer to get my news off Twitter. And I know there's a Gordo out there says, well, you can have a digital echo chamber and you can just tweak your settings so everything agrees with you and all that. But that's just like being a yes man, and that's what what happens. I just tend to watch a lot of stuff on Twitter. I don't have it set like that. I have all sorts of different people coming through, so I try and get a balanced view. Same with my all social medias. Yeah, but I hope today that this entry has made you think and made you, if nothing, just from today, take away the fact that we are a lot more easily manipulated and controlled than we like to think we are. And once you're aware of that, it's like a stage magic trick, like when someone goes woo and finds 20 pence behind your ear or whatever. Once you know how this trick is done, it stops working. And this is one of the reasons why I'm working on doing this, and why I'm working on doing eventual podcast and all of that, because I think we have to keep saying that. And I've said before about being a centrist, but we don't have much of a voice out there. Well, this is why I'm going to carry on doing this, because if we don't, then an untruth repeated often enough so everybody believes it, and then it cannot be defended, will become the norm. And I don't want to live in a world like that. I will sign off as always. Peace out.